20's. We are here to bring you 20 brilliant Indians from across the world who will share with you their new definition of success. Along with Education News Network, presented by Education Today TV, here I am, Dr. Nirmala Krishnan, for you. We all have been part of some adventure or the other. Yeah, the pandemic has definitely restricted our travel. But we go through all those photographs of wonderful time we have had traveling to different places of our choice. And what if one among you picks that up as a career? Yes, as a teenager, she went ahead and decided that that is going to be her career, where she's going to be traveling all across the world. Not only just traveling, she's the one who takes care of you when you are traveling. Yes, she is a wilderness expert, somebody who takes good care of you when there are possibilities of some risk during your adventure trip. I'm very happy and delighted that we have Krishna Patel with us, who is going to share her journey in the 20s with all of you today. Welcome, Krishna.
Hello, ma'am. How are you?
I'm fine, thank you. How about you?
I'm doing very well. You look very beautiful today.
Oh, thank you so much. I needed that. Okay. Krishna, I just wanted to, and definitely, I wanted to look good because I'm meeting a very pretty girl like you, right? And such a sweetheart you are. Krishna, our audience is here and they are excited to know how a girl in her teenage can go ahead and decide about her career into adventure. So there are questions which I'll be asking you, and I just want to share the flow with the audience before we start.
Yeah.
So the flow is going to be that we will get to hear from Krishna her journey through few questions. After that, we will be posing few questions which students from schools across India have written to Krishna. Then she gets an opportunity to ask a question to me, followed by the most exciting part of this interaction with Krishna, the rapid fire round. So stay tuned, and here we go. For our viewers, please share your life in school and how you decided about outdoors as your career option.
So when I look at my school life, I was very shy. I was the most innocent and sincere student in the entire school. I was very afraid to do any mischief. And after my 10th boards, I convinced my parents to let me go on a summer camp with my friends. My first camp without any adults, just with my friends on the Nicobar Islands. So I took a holiday in Andaman and Nicobar, and I saw my instructors, and one of the instructors was just 2 years elder to me. And after the end of the program, I think they saw a potential in me, and they suggested that I should do a training program with their company. And that was really good to hear, because I was put into a thought of what qualities I have. What did the instructors see in me that, they recommended that I should do the course. And after coming back from Andaman and Nicobar Islands, when I was sharing the stories with my parents, I told them that, I've got this recommendation. Should I go ahead with it? And my dad was like, yes, you should go ahead with it. And Mom was a little reluctant. But in the end, Dad and I convinced her all together. And after doing that course, I think Mom did see the changes in me. I became street smart. I became confident. I was, not very shy, and my social interactions with people had improved. So that is how I started even enjoying my life in the adventure field. And as I met new people, I learned a lot of things. And that's how I decided that, I want to continue this when I'm studying at the same time.
Just curious, I'm sure the audience also wants to know What was the duration of this course that you had taken up, and what did it entail?
So the duration of the course was 6 months. They had trainings every Saturday and Sunday. Some of them were classroom trainings, while the others were in the field, which you could say is in Panchgani or somewhere in the north of India. And they included all sorts of classes, like right from wildlife, introducing us to what wildlife is, what the national parks have, to adventure, what is rock climbing, what is abseiling, to even camp management. Like if you're faced with this situation, what you should do, what are the camp protocols, and these were certain examples that were there in that training.
Good. So this was after you completed your grade 10?
Yes.
After you completed your grade 10, you came to know that you can go as an instructor for adventure trips. So for that, you have to undergo a training of 6 months. And where did you undergo this training?
There are certain, since I come from Pune, there are certain summer camp organizations which do their own volunteer training program. So if you just Google volunteer training programs in Pune, there should be a couple of companies that come up, and then you could, speak to people of what would you like to achieve and see their recommendation, and then go ahead with it.
And Krishna, in your profile, I also read that you have passed out from the outdoor school, right? So is that different from the one you're referring to now?
Yes. So the outdoor school is from US, and there are similar to the National Outdoor Leadership School. There are plenty other schools as well, and they have a base in the north of India, and that school is more for experienced instructors, or people who have some basic knowledge about the outdoors, and now they want to improve in their soft skills, or just do the particular activity. Like if they want to do rafting, they could go there as well.
Lovely. Great. Okay. So in your journey, you mentioned that a school without walls. Now that's one terminology we all would like to know more about. A school without walls. So please share your journey of the school without walls.
Okay. So outdoor education is a stream in this field of adventure. You could be a mountain guide, you could be a rafting guide, you could be an outdoor educator. So when we talk about outdoor education, you have, age is not a barrier either. It's like school without walls and without any age barrier. And the aim of outdoor education is to have their participants acquire basic life skills like communication, decision making, problem solving, self-esteem, build up their teamwork, improve in their leadership skills. So our role as an outdoor educator, it is to provide an atmosphere, to create a learning environment where the participants learn from themselves. The participants learn from the activities, and all we have to do is manage the risks for them. So in the end, it's not us telling the participants everything. It is the participants figuring out, interacting with each other, coming up with a solution if there's a problem, and then applying it in the particular program.
I can relate it so well to the times when I have gone for these kind of adventure trip with my family, where let it be scuba diving or parasailing. Every trip of ours, I still remember the initial hesitation to jump into the water. You don't know what is going to. You don't know. You are in a place where you have to just jump out into the air. And the words from the instructor make so much of an impact in our hearts that we get the confidence, we get the courage, because initially we are excited, okay, fine, we want to do it. But your words are going to be so impactful for us at that point of time. And what a crucial role you all play in this. This is great journey that we are getting to hear.
And the best part about outdoor education is that even people who are specially challenged or, disabled, they have been able to come in the outdoor field as well. Like we did have certain programs where we were able to take them on the summit of a mountain, and after the program, I literally get goosebumps that, they came and shared that, my self-confidence has improved. There's nothing that's going to stop me from doing it. So it makes me quite happy to see that, people with any challenges could still come in the outdoors and nothing can stop them.
Wow, that is something very, very interesting to know, that people with special needs also can go ahead and experience the outdoors, and there are many of them who would love to go ahead and explore this. Now, there is an interesting aspect of Krishna which I want her to share about. She was sharing that she was a footballer before she became an outdoor educator. Yes, what was it about your football journey, Krishna?
So I think, again, after my 10th boards, I decided I wanted to play football. And fortunately, there was a ground just 200 meters from my house where there used to be a team which used to coach students as well. So I just went and enrolled, and I said, I want to play as well. And they were like, yeah, just come every evening from 6 to 9. We can play for 3 hours. So I just started going, and the environment felt so lively. The people were so nice that, I played football for 3 hours, 1 hour each, with kids from aged 5 to 10 years, and then with a higher age group, and then with the senior team members. And even after 9 o'clock, I was like, can we play a little bit more? But I started playing football mainly because it improved in my fitness. And I didn't really think about, I'll go play for a professional team. But when I started training, I met a couple of other professional female footballers, and they just, said that you should come for the trials as well. And I went with them, and I got selected for the Pune Football Club, and later for the Football Club Pune City. And then when I started doing outdoors a little bit more, I think I got left behind football and leaned more towards the outdoors. So that was my football journey. I still play for fun,
Okay.
but I'm not a professional player anymore.
Oh, so the football team has missed a wonderful player, right? And there's something which appears on your profile, which says that you are a wilderness trip leader. I don't know how many of us have heard this terminology to be something that you can pursue as your career. And Krishna is here. She is a wilderness trip leader. Let's hear it from her about this.
Yeah. So the wilderness trip leader is a designation, a position that you could call yourself, just like an outdoor educator. When we talk about wilderness trip leading, it is associated with backpacking. It involves a program which is of a longer duration. It could be for minimum 8 days to up to a month as well. And when you're on this journey, you could be in the Himalayas, you could be in a desert, or even you could be somewhere in the Sahyadri ranges or the Western Ghats. And you are carrying your own food for the number of days. You're carrying your own tent. You absolutely have no human contact in those duration of the days. You are minimum 1 hour away from the nearest hospital. And when you're on such a program, you need a leader who knows what they're doing, in short. So the leader is trained to manage risks. To manage risks, they undergo a training, and they also are certified wilderness first responders. This certificate is a 10-day course, and it teaches you the first aid till you get help from an ambulance or a paramedic. So if there's an incident, we are trained enough to stabilize the person to receive some medical help. We are trained to make sure that my participants are doing well, to understand their psychological aspects. We are trained to master the technical skills like finding water. Is this a suitable place to pitch our tent? Would there be any hazards involving if we stay here tonight? Amending our plans, amending the itinerary. So, wilderness trip leader is basically who leads you in the backcountry and is responsible for your health and your safety throughout the number of days.
Wow. So this is something new that I got to learn today, and this is interesting because our trips are safe because people like you are around, right?
Yeah.
Great. So, what is the challenge that you faced when you went and trained yourself in the US and Australia? You had to move out. For how long you were away from your home, and how different was this program? Because many of our viewers are excited and they would like to know that what kind of training you have taken up in US and Australia, which makes you better. And for the viewers, she's just 22 years old. And she has achieved all this, and she is there out helping so many people who are into adventure. Go ahead, Krishna.
So I got the opportunity to also work in US and Australia. And I think the challenge was that I was outside my comfort zone. And because it was such a new culture for me in both the countries, and I was the one leading the participants in their backyard. Like me coming from India to their country and leading them in their terrain was quite challenging, as I had to first learn what type of terrain they have, what type of flora and fauna they have, how do they run their things, how do they do things over there. So my first challenge was to understand how US and Australia run their programs. And then I led, in the US, I led a bunch of girls for hiking and canoeing mainly in the Appalachian Trail. The Appalachian Trail is quite an important trail for the outdoorsy people. It goes from the south to the north of United States, and it covers the entire country when you go for a hike. In Australia, I got the opportunity to do canoeing, hiking, snow camping, skiing, rock climbing, and that was more about outdoor education, as I was working mainly with schools, with their teachers, and as I mentioned before, our role is to create a safe space, a learning environment for them. So my role was more to also make them do the activity, but also create that environment where, they are achieving the outcomes that were listed for us.
Wow. So you've done this for many schools in Australia, you were saying?
Yes.
Wow. So schools in India can look forward to having Krishna to explain and to understand what kind of impact an adventure trip can have when a child goes through this kind of an experience. It transforms you, makes you more courageous, makes you more compassionate because you're taking care of your teammates. So what is the future of your career, Krishna?
So I am looking to work wherever I can, but my end goal is to get outdoor education in India. We do have certain schools who are taking their students for outdoor activities, but we still haven't reached a stage where there is outdoor education. So I am looking forward to be a part when finally India has outdoor education. Till then, I'm just going to update myself with the necessary skills, keep them all relevant, and keep on learning as much as I can.
Okay, so are you open to students and schools who would like to know more about your journey and how you can guide and train them to look forward to this as your career, as their career, sorry? Yeah?
Yeah.
Wow. So for all the viewers, you can reach out to Krishna and get more about this outdoor educator career for your students. Now we come to the second part of this discussion where we present to you the questions that students from across India, the schools across India have asked. Are we ready?
Yes.
Great. Okay. There's one question coming from Amal. He asks, just excited to know such a career exists. Where you get to travel and earn? What is the scope of such careers?
So thank you, Amal, for this question. When you get into the outdoors, you could just start with volunteering for certain companies till you understand what the outdoors is. Once you understand that, you can move on to a field instructor where you have all the knowledge and all you would like to do is stay in the field for almost 300 days out of the entire year, staying in tent. It's okay if you don't get a bed to sleep. Then you could also get into program coordination. You could become a program coordinator where you are coordinating with the school or your client and also with your team members who are going to be a part of that program. You could become an activity specialist. Say if you like mountain biking, you could master the particular activity and provide support to the other instructors who have a lot of knowledge in that field. Then you could maybe start your own business. If you like gears, you could have your own gear shop. You could have your own travel company. You could get into teaching. You could become an outdoor education teacher as well, and also a program manager.
Great. So those are the options available for you. Going to the next question. There's Fatima who has this question. She asks, can you share one memorable experience with us?
Tough, memorable experience to choose from.
Okay.
But when I was in Australia, I was on a 10-day program with all girls. It was a school program and we were in a terrain which was dry, sort of a desert. So there were no mountains to say. But on day one of the program, I injured myself. I had a toe swelling and I didn't know how it happened because I hadn't fallen. I hadn't had an accident. It was just there. It was just hurting and burning. So throughout the program, it was really nice to see the change in my students that, they were taking care of me. It wasn't like, oh, she's an instructor, she shouldn't be falling sick. Nothing should happen to the instructor. But it was quite nice to see that they were taking care of me. They were asking me, are you okay? Do you want this? So I felt that, I'm one of them. And my goal on every program is to maybe just ensure that there's a community sense in the group where they develop some trust in each other and take care of each other, which is what I really look forward to. And they giving me the space that, you are one of us, we'll take care of you. There's nothing to worry about. We'll still go on with the program and we'll have fun. And just to see that change, I think this has been one of the best program I've been on. I was injured, that's fine, but I did get to spend 10 amazing days with all the girls.
Okay, great. Thank you for that. So we have a question from Cherian. He asks, have you handled any accidents? If yes, how did you manage it?
Touch wood, I haven't had any accidents yet, but I did have a challenging situation where I had a student who was type 1 diabetic, and we were almost halfway through to the program, and her sugar levels rose up, and we were on a canoeing program where we were supposed to cover almost 100 kilometers in 5 days in a canoe from point A to point B, and every day we had to pitch our campsite on a beach. Most of the times we used to have road access closer to us, but this particular day when her sugar levels rose up, the road access was on the other side of the bank, and if it didn't go down, then we would have to paddle her in the canoe at night just to take her to the hospital. Now the challenge was that I had to monitor her sugar levels every 2 hours throughout the night. So completing the entire day, being tired, guiding the students on what to do, what needs to be done. We need to pack up, they need to go to bed. And then at the same time also taking care of my student, checking her sugar levels every 2 hours, making sure that it's going down. If it's not going down, what methods can be used to get it down? So I had to set up alarms every 2 hours, and till 7 o'clock in the morning I was waking up every 2 hours. And that was quite a new experience because again, as I mentioned before, people with disabilities or special needs can come on this program as well. And I had a student with medical condition, which could have been serious if not taken care of well. But she was able to do the program just like the other kids, and nothing was stopping her again. So that is how I maintained the challenge. I rose up to the level, and I did ask for help as well. I asked my supervisors of what can be done, what are the alternatives, and the child was just happy that there's someone to look after her, and she was so calm in the situation that looking at her, even I was a little satisfied that okay, whatever is happening good. So that was the challenge that I faced.
Commendable to observe that you're handling such situations at such a young age, and your parents, they will be really proud of these kind of stories that you come back and tell them, or does this scare them more?
My mother is really proud. In fact, she's the one before such interviews, she comes and tells me that, oh, you should mention this story, this is what happened, you did it really well. So she's the one, I could say she's the memory card of the house for all my stories. So she's just proud that, you know, I've changed from a shy child to a confident child. So she's achieved her goal, I must say.
That's really nice. Great. We have got lots and lots of questions which we will be taking up much later. But going to the next part of it, now you get to ask me a question. So, all yours.
I would like to ask, where did you get the motivation to start such a platform where you pull teenagers who've achieved something and, you know, use their stories to motivate the next generation?
Okay. Okay, fine. So this is something. Okay, fine. I have been into education, as you know, for almost 2 decades now, and I have observed that career counseling is so important because everyone has to make a decision about what they want to do next. Of course, there are a lot of, like, I'm a pharmacist by graduation, but I moved to education because I found my passion over there. Now, when we look at the traditional form of career counseling in a school, it is usually done by somebody who's in their 40s and 50s. They have achieved something, or there is an agency who come and who share about different college where the children can pursue education in different fields. So that is the traditional format of career counseling that exists so far. So my innovative thoughts always have been for the reverse approach. So what is the reverse approach that we have? The reverse approach is when the students in school, they are teenagers and they have to listen to somebody who are in their 40s and 50s and they have achieved it all. The connect is not much. I experienced it as a student myself. I was in grade 6 when I attended my first career counseling session in my school. I passed out from Kendriya Vidyalaya. And then I thought over, we have to bring a connect to career counseling for the teenagers sitting in school. B, parents they're very, very enthusiastic. They would definitely love to. Today, things have opened up. There are many parents like yours who would like to support their children in doing what they want to achieve. However, the challenge is them knowing what is available across the world. So that is when I thought, let's do a reverse approach and try to get, I was in conversation with my children, and that is when they gave me the idea, Mama, why don't you look at, because I have 2 teenagers at home, and they find better connect with those who are in their 20s. So they were the ones who coined the term the 20s, and I try to reach out to most of the school principals through my network across India, trying to reach out to the alumni of their schools. So children from the age group of 20 to 29, we tried the schools to help us reach out to, and they were also spread to a lot of parents, and that is how we got a lot of people applying, a lot of people sending their profiles to the 20s. From that we sorted out, and 20 brilliant Indians, as we always refer to them as, we picked them up, and for the viewers to know that these children, they are placed all across the world, right from Melbourne, Australia, to India, to Dubai, UK, London, to America. They are spread all over the world, and they all are in this bandwidth of 20 to 29 years. And that whole concept of the 20s is about bringing the direct connect for teenagers in school with the different careers, and listen to you all and understand that they can achieve it very fast, not that they have to wait for their 40s. And all of you are in your journey. You have not done it all. You have not finished achieving everything. You have so much more to achieve. So that brings a better connect for teenagers with all of you. And for parents also, it gives them an opportunity to understand. Now, your kind of a profession, I wonder how many of us knew. I myself was not quite aware of till the time I met you. We have been for adventure trip, but we have seen all, very matured, and few places abroad I have seen youngsters like you, but it never struck me that this can be a career. So through this program, we are trying to bring in a lot of people. We have got Athar, who is a pilot, or we've got Tamanna, who's into sustainability. Sustainability has got so much of future, options as a career. We have got Richa, who's a chef. We have got Lenin, who's an energy consultant and an entrepreneur. We have got Arya, who's an entrepreneur, and she has raised about 1 million euros at such a young age. So how did these people do it? And you are one of them, and we are privileged and honored to have you. So thank you for the question, but it has come quite early in the show from you. So thank you so much for this.
Hats off to your approach, ma'am. Quite commendable.
Yeah, we will have more people now pursuing the kind of career that all of you are already doing it and achieving so much.
Looking forward to them.
Yes, we are going to, because I've seen a lot of people ping us, and they are curious to know when is Krishna coming online, right? Because adventure is, and I've got one of the team members, Altaf, who's part of my team in the 20s. I've got a team of 5, and he is very curious to listen to your story. So I told him, you're coming soon. Okay, fine. So, viewers, now we go to the most exciting part, the rapid fire. Are you ready, Krishna?
Yes, super ready.
Fine. So we have got 6 questions, and your time starts now. Which is more dangerous, mountaineering or kayaking, and why?
Both. You need to have the skill set, the knowledge for the mountain terrain and the water. So both of them are quite dangerous. If you don't have skills and you just get into the water or on the mountain, it could lead to something bad.
Okay, great. Next one. Have you had any fractures and hospitalization?
Touch wood, no. And I would really not look forward to any injuries because I want to be on the field hale and hearty as long as I can.
Wonderful. Yes, and all our wishes for that. Okay. What is your take on marriage?
I really don't look forward to it. And it's all right if you don't get married, as long as you enjoy your life As long as you have really supportive folks around you, I don't think marriage is that important.
Okay, take your point. Who do you adore in this career and why?
Tough choice again, but there are so many folks. One of them would be. I think I'll pass on it because there are just so many.
You're not going to annoy any of them because I'm not giving you the option, so you're not annoying any of them. Go ahead.
Do I still have to give a name?
At least give the kind of adventure related to that person.
There's a rock climber that I really admire, and there had been a lot of setbacks for him as well, a lot of issues in his personal life as well. But to overcome all those barriers and to achieve something where you just got the appreciation of folks all around the world is someone that I admire a lot. That no matter what, it's okay if I don't have money, but I really enjoy this field. I'm really passionate about it, and I'm going to continue doing it. And then achieving his goal and also creating a charity where he's helping similar folks or people who can't afford the outdoors, get them fundings and help them have some experience in the outdoors as well.
Makes sense. Makes a lot of sense. Yeah. Yes. And how do you handle stress at work?
Can you say that again, please?
How do you handle stress at your work?
Being in the outdoors also involves a lot of stress because you are always thinking about how you are performing on the particular program, how are you going to achieve the outcomes, or what if. So there are a lot of what if questions as well, which keeps my mind running throughout the week and also could be a little stressful at times, or there might be a challenge that I'm faced with. But a certain part of it decreases since I'm already in the wilderness. I'm already a couple of hours away from the city life. I am in the nature. I'm in this beautiful, mesmerizing terrain, which a lot of city folks would like to go to over the weekend just and call it a stress buster.
Yes.
So I already am there. The next steps to reduce stress is what I would do is get myself calm as well. Like, it's okay, we'll see when something happens. The least you can do is prevent it, take the right precautions. And if I am faced with a situation, I do have really supportive supervisors or my colleagues who I can definitely ask for help. Like, if I'm going to hesitate in asking for help, all I'm doing is increasing my stress level. So I have to get out of the barrier that it is okay to ask for help and just achieve that.
Beautiful. The last rapid fire question, just one liner for the youngsters.
Everything is in your mind.
Okay.
This is a line my father used to tell me when I was young, that you have been injured, you've got a scratch on your knee or your arm, and it hurts. What else are you going to do with it? If you keep on thinking about it, it's just going to pain a lot more. But if you stop thinking about it, you won't even know that you're hurt. So there's a barrier which is in your mind. If you overcome it, you can do whatever you like and you can achieve that particular goal.
Perfect. So it's what is there in your mind that actually makes you what you are. So that was a wonderful journey with you, Krishna, and wish you the very best for all your future achievements. And thank you so much for coming on the show and encouraging all our audience to look forward to a career which they have always thought of as someone who is going to enjoy going for adventure. They are now also going to think of how they can be part of it from the other side. So thank you once again for being on the show.
Thank you so much, ma'am, for this wonderful opportunity, and really look forward to seeing you soon, sometime in person as well.
Yes, we will do that soon. So, dear audience, here we are with such wonderful people whom we get to meet through the 20s. We are talking of career, work, job. What our children will achieve tomorrow is something that we are yet to see. But one thing is for sure, that if we want them to be winners in life and give their own definition of success, we have to allow them to pursue what they want to do and support them in that particular path also. So signing off for now, along with Education News Network presented by Education Today, I'm here, your host, Dr. Nirmala Krishnan. Stay home.